if you have the nodes, and you have a 41-31 nodal system, you are going to meet and see the unexpected in your life. It's always going to be there. It's always going to emerge. You're also going to see that human beings are driven by desire. And you will see the world of desire revealed. And you will see that those that are driven by desire yearn the most for those that can guide them and lead them. They're very much connected to each other, these two. See, all leadership ultimately must be connected to the human experiential way. After all, the human experiential way may be abstract, but life is logical. You know? There is a logic to all of that. In order to be a leader of a world that is abstract, our leaders are logical. You know, the 31-7 is our logical leader. That logical leader is deeply ready for the unexpected and ready to take advantage of it. And you can see this in politicians when they're looking for money. They don't care who you are. They don't really care what you believe in at all. As a matter of fact, they're happy to kiss your baby and take your money. You know? I mean, the end justifies the means, or something like that. It's something interesting to see. Leadership has to be able to take advantage of the unexpected in human experience. You cannot lead unless you can take advantage. So, you know, you can see that every time we have a technological transformation, you know, what has happened to the way in which, you know, how do our leaders deal with, for example, the new internet world? You know, how do they deal with something unexpected coming that changes the way people communicate, changes the way information moves? I mean, there's been an enormous change in the way in which political surveillance works now. You know, it used to be you had to wait for your morning paper. Now it's, you know, it's 24 hours a day all the time. You know, every nuance, every rumor, everything, it's all, you know, and they have to compensate for that. You got to be able to lead, given the fact that there is this new experiential program at work. And this is the magic of 31 and why they are true leaders, or have the potential of really being alphas, is that they can tune into the new experience and find a way, still find a way to be a leader in that environment or in that changed environment. You know, when politicians are surprised and they lose an election, it never stops them. I mean, it doesn't. You know, for them, it's simply that, you know, they didn't have the right slogan. You know, that they didn't tap into what was the next atmosphere that they were dealing with, because the atmosphere of communities is constantly changing. You know, it's constantly moving, and it's constantly being influenced by all of this information going back and forth. The 31-41 has quite a view on the world. I mean, they have quite a view. You know, they're looking out there and they are catching both the new experiential processes and at the same time seeing the dilemma of the leadership, and they're always the ones who see something unexpected in the sense that something arises out of nowhere. And this is a wonderful thing. You know, it adds delight into their lives. You know, so many things in science have been discovered on the cross of the unexpected.